Okay, let's take a look at the box model. This is something we didn't cover in CSS 101, which I really wanted to, but I think it was slightly too advanced. So the box model is this idea that you have a box and you can have padding and margin, and it depends on your browser's rules on how to calculate the width of that element. So if we create a div here, and let's just call it div class box, and that's all we're going to do. I'm going to save that. Come on over to this page, and I already pre-opened this before I recorded this lesson. So if I go to inspect, I'm going to see that in my body, I have box, and I can add a class here for .box. And let's add some styling. So border 1 pixel solid red. Let's give this a height of 300 pixels, a width of 300 pixels. And let's change that border instead of 1 pixel. Let's do like 5 pixels. And now when I come down here, when I scroll all the way down, we can see that it's 300 by 300. Okay, cool. Now, if I wanted to, I could add a padding here. I could say padding 30 pixels. And you notice how when I toggle this on and off, it makes my box bigger. And that's not necessarily what I want, because when I add padding 30 pixels, this box is no longer 300 pixels. It's 370 pixels wide. It has 5 pixels on either side for 10, 5 on the left, 5 on the right, 300 pixels on the inside, and then 30 pixels of padding on the left and the right. So if we add this up, we have 5, 30, 300, 30 over here, and another 5. And if we scroll on down, we can actually see all these numbers here. Border of 5, padding 30, inside of 300. Now, sometimes that's what we want, but for the most part, that's not what we want. What we want is to say, make the whole thing 300 pixels wide or 300 pixels tall, and that includes the padding. So by default, the box model, what we're looking at here, our box model here, does not include having padding, does not include having margin. So what we can say is box sizing, and by default, it's content box, but we want border box. And you can see that it makes it bigger or smaller here. And we're changing the default behavior of our browser. Typically, we want border box. What border box does is says, add that border, add that padding, and make sure all of that together is a width of 300. So now when I hover over this, we can see that that box is a little bit smaller. And when I scroll on down, none of these digits actually change, but the box itself is smaller. It's saying the entire thing is 300 pixels. That's the difference between border box and content box. Now, what I would like you to do is give this a shot. Create a 300 by 300 box on your page. It does not need to look good. Add some padding to it, and then change the box sizing and just notice what the difference is. And this is really, really important for us moving through this course because we're going to be using content box a lot.